Well, hello, East Hill. Thank you so much for coming and investing your time into exploring the Heart for the Mission offering that we're doing over the month of December. Today, we're talking with Travis and Alexis Malonen, who are missionaries in Poland. Travis, Alexa, tell us a little bit about what Reach Polska is.
Yeah, so Reach Polska is kind of what we call our mission, and the whole idea behind Reach Polska is developing leaders in the church and potential new leaders. So making new disciples, people that are actually Polish, not foreigners, which is the main goal. And we really want to, bring about a new way of creating community, discipling people, and really affecting the community through practical ways, but also, of course, in spiritual ways in which we connect with them after some time of really diving in and creating community around common goals and common ideas of community. So.
Wow, that's an awesome heart. Can you tell us a little bit about the birth story of Reach Polska? Tell us about what led you to wanting to lead this ministry in Poland.
Um, well, a long story, but to make it short, um, I happened to be dating this guy that that said yes to being to helping out missionaries that lived in Poland, and for about a year. And as I went there, the first time, it was a really hard experience, and it was a very difficult time. And then as the years went on, every year I found myself visiting Poland of all countries again. And it just was negative, but as the years went on, God would, my attitude was, this is the worst place in the entire world. Well, it's okay. Or, well, there's some things that I like about it. Or, this is kind of cool. And then I really love this place. And throughout that time, throughout those years, God gave me pictures, and He gave me vision and promises for my role, for our role, and what He wants to do here in Krakow and what He wants to do for the whole country. And so I started, as the years progressed, to get really excited to see what God was doing, and that I got really excited that I got to have a part in it. Scary at times, because when you're given responsibility, it's usually pretty scary and daunting. But at the same time, I always wanted to be partnered with God and go on an adventure and do something exciting and, do something meaningful. And so, I was ready to follow Him wherever He went. So that's my.
Yeah. Well, I'll give the really concise version that basically, I was in Poland for a year, helping out some missionaries. It was a really tough time. They were doing some church planting work. The church plant split twice. We had an interesting clash of leadership among different people. And I yelled at God that I hated the place. I was never going to come back. And then I went to a conference, and for 2 hours I cried listening to the stories of some other missionaries. And the Holy Spirit just really landed on me hard about that. What He had done and His heart for Germany in that case is exactly His heart that He wanted for Poland. And so really that kind of turned everything around. And I don't even remember this, but apparently I told some person that was like the head over Foursquare Europe missionaries that, hey, I want to go and be in Poland, long term. And he told me that years later. He's like, oh, I remember you in this elevator. You said you were going to go back to Poland. And I was like, I don't remember that at all. But all right, cool. And but it was really significant. I mean, the Holy Spirit made it so clear to me. I had never cried for 2 hours straight like that, and I haven't since. So it was a mark of the time. So that was the short reason why, and of course 10 years of kind of gathering things and getting married, having kids, and raising support and all that fun stuff. But and then developing what is it that's our ministry, what's our calling, and so that was really the key thing to develop. And now we're here doing that. So it's incredible to see it kind of blooming now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Now we've caught everybody up to today. So now tell us today, what is actually happening over there in Poland? What does your ministry look like today compared to, where you started at?
Yeah, so, today is a little bit different than previous years, of course, but generally it's the same here in Krakow. We really focus on discipleship making and leadership development with young students in university. And so in that, it's really connecting with them. We do a weekly Bible study. For example, right now we're going through LGBTQ plus ideas. What does that mean? What's the biblical version that, what does it mean in today's world to look at that from a biblical point of view? And then also we help with another church plant to the south and developing those leaders and connecting with them, supporting them in any way they can. There's another potential new kind of work going on in the north as well. And all of those, actually, the biggest connection is that we kind of sit around is like community development, which is like, how do you practically serve your community? So you just make relationships out of that. And that's through something called Serve the City, which we do really on a bigger scale here in Krakow. And in other areas, we do other types of projects as well throughout the country. So that's the biggest things. Of course, there's a lot of like relational things that Alexis does.
Yeah, so I work at a private Polish school here teaching English and ethics. And I've gotten a really big open door with the teachers and with the administration there. So in Poland, there is no separation between church and state. So they teach religion class starting in first grade to all of the kids, in all the schools, private or public. And but in our school, if a family doesn't want to put their kids in public religious classes, then they put them into what's called ethics. Now our school is headed by a atheist family, which is really surprising here, in a Catholic nation. And they know our beliefs and that we're Protestants, and they felt comfortable asking me to teach ethics class to the kids. And I just was really shocked and surprised, but really excited. So I'm having really good discussions with the kids, but my main excitement and relationship building is obviously with all of the teachers. And I've had so many amazing, deep, heartfelt, just really important conversations with them. And usually it's over coffee. It's not really common. In America, you can say, come over to my house, we'll hang out and we'll talk, or we'll have coffee and tea or whatever. But that's not really, that's a different way of thinking here. And so usually it's at a cafe and it's over coffee or tea or a cake, and we talk about our life and we start to talk about the struggles, and it's been really, really beautiful to see some of these relationships blossom. And it does take time, takes a lot of time, but it's worth it.
When it comes to people actually giving the Heart for the Mission offering, what will that money be used for in Poland?
Generally speaking, anything that goes towards Reach Polska at this point is going straight into actions that we do in ministry. This is, getting resources, if that's church planning type of material, but also just coming together when we're allowed to do that again, and just resources, even buying plane tickets and practical needs of train tickets, etc., to get people to come meet, because resources for students is really low to begin with. But second, nothing is like the same unless you do it together and you're in person. We do a lot of stuff on Zoom, of course, but I would say a lot of our resources are just simply getting people together, giving them the type of materials that they need to live, in a faith community and be disciples to other people. So that's even like coffee money sometimes it's just an Uber money so they can get somewhere. Things like this.
Practical.
It's super practical, but it's all with an intention of like hey, use this, but go and bless somebody else with it, of course, as well. And
not let practical things stop
Yes.
people from actually getting together, because it's very, very common for people here to say, oh, I like to, but I can't. And the reason is like, I don't have money for a tram ticket or a train ticket, or I don't want to, I can't go out to coffee, because they know in their head that they don't have enough, or that they feel embarrassed because they're students, and who has money when they're in college. And so a lot of the times, if we say, no, I will pay for you, they will say, oh no, I don't feel comfortable with that. And so then it's no win. But oftentimes when we're able to say, no, we have special money that's special just for this. You're not taking money out of our lives. This is specially for this. Then they feel released. Say, oh yes, I would like to. And so oftentimes, we'll get people, like this last week, we gave one of the guys that are coming to our Bible study a special huge, like the huge massive Bibles that have the history about the context and about, it's a certain study Bible.
A cultural study Bible. Yeah.
And so he would never have accepted it normally, but he knew that this was part of that. It came from that.
No,
money?
The fund. Yeah.
Thank you. It came from that fund. And so, this money would allow people to be able to do more and to come and to see people and connect.
Yep. And of course, many other things that are related to serve the city and related to making those practical needs happen. So,
All right, so let's say in theory somebody wants to actually partner with Reach Polska, not just give as a one-time gift. How does somebody, or what does it look like, to partner with Reach Polska?
Hey, yeah, so if somebody wants to join us and partner with us, they can go to our website, www.reachpolska.info. That's Polska with an A, not Poland. There you go. And on there, they can hit partners or donate, or share. There's a couple different words on there. It's all the same. And then it walks them through how they can join us in that. Multiple ways, through prayer, through giving. There's our story is on there. They can even watch a short little mini documentary if they want. So it's all there, giving all kinds of great information. We don't update it that often, but all the best bits on how to make that happen are all right there, making it easy. And they can join our newsletter as well, and get our newsletter monthly-ish, and that's a great way to know what's going on currently as well.
All right, so before we wrap up, are there any parting words that you have for us?
I would definitely say that we miss you tons, even though we know probably half of you now, since there's so many more people now, which is fantastic. Make groups, make connections, go to small groups. That's where, we were interns there, that's really important.
Keith did not pay her.
I haven't. That's true. I should, but East Hill has been such an important part of our lives, as interns. Before we got married, we were there, and afterwards, but also it's such a huge blessing to our kids. So I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that works in the children's ministry. Our kids remember singing songs and being with everyone from the nursery all the way up to 5th grade, and Kids City. You still really impact our kids' lives. So even during the coronavirus time, when we went and watched your videos as you were doing it with our kids in our living room, just because they remember it, and it's a way for them and us to still feel connected. And so I really want to say thank you for all the hard work that you guys do, because talking and being excited in front of a camera is exhausting, and just know that people around the world really appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. During this whole season, Corona season stuff, we've not sat in these chairs and been on Zoom calls, as much as ever before.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And it's, just constantly giving, but we really have received a lot from East Hill over the years, and, it just fills us up, and we're doing, fairly well. A lot of missionaries, apparently the average in Poland is to leave after 2 years. So we're way over that, and we see no end in sight, which is great.
Yes.
But yeah, just we love it. There's a lot going on around the world, a lot of different people suffering, confused. Here in Poland, there's a lot of people just not able to connect with anyone, and you know, this is making it possible. This is making it really a real tangible thing where people feel like, okay, these people are investing in this country and the people and everything else. So and when people begin to hear that there's actually like a larger group behind us, then they're even like, what is going on? So
Crazy.
you know, they're like, so who sent you and what is this thing? And
They care about us.
yeah, so it really means a lot to know that there's a partnership of people behind us.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Dziękujemy bardzo.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Travis and Alexis. It's great to have you guys. And thanks for taking time to do this interview. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yes, you
Yeah.
bet.
All right. I'll
Alexis,
see you guys later.
pumpkin now. So
Oh, there you go.
I'm exhausted.
All right. Thanks, guys.